last time we met, the party was together at the North Gate and went their separate ways. Well, Faewyn was already in the Wizard's Tower copying down a new spell. Grun went for a wander through the city. Gaelen went with Aurelius, the paladin, on his own. And I'm not sure what Skippy and Lignyck were up to.
That's a really good question.
I'm also uncertain what Lignyck was up to. Give me a moment.
I think that if he's got spare time to kill, and he basically doesn't have any money left because he's given it all away, he would probably make his way down to the seedier part of town where he feels most comfortable, and kind of start doing some polite inquiries using thief cant to see if he could get an introduction to the underworld here.
Certainly. You do find a small black market thieves guild area close to the docks. So the docks are that brown strip that you see close to the lake. And it's not like any thieves guild or black market that you've ever seen before. It is high class. These elves involved in this are not skulking in the shadows. They're quite open about the business that they do, and they openly brag about some of the jobs that they've done for the queen herself. So they are well-regarded rogues in the community.
Oh, that's weird. He doesn't feel comfortable here at all.
Well, they've actually, some of them have noticed you slipping silver pieces into people's pockets. So you're welcomed with open arms into this society if you so wish.
So what is, like, going into this thing, are people noticing me?
It's not that you're like highly known and regarded in the city. It's just a few of them have noted that they've seen you doing backwards sleight of hand, giving people money instead of stealing it, and so they appreciate what you've been doing for the refugees in the city.
And Jinxie's with me as well. So,
Okay.
Although I'm just walking with Jinxie walking beside me right now. All right, I will basically be. Is there an inn nearby or a pub associated with this black market?
Not so much. No, it's more just a collection of warehouses. They have their own ships that they set out to sail along the rivers and around the lake. So there's no inn or pub per se.
Okay, I will go to a merchant of, like, miscellaneous things like caltrops and pitons and like that sort of stuff. Like that. Everybody has to get.
Yep.
And I'll start looking around, and when he looks like he's not busy, I'll ask him. I'll basically say to him, "Hi, my name is Skippy. I'm new to the city. I just wanted to know what's going on around here."
Well, as I'm sure you saw on your way in, there are a number of refugees who have come from all over the lands to seek safety within Velshni's walls. And we have been ensuring that the wrong sorts of people aren't in with the transients. And we have some people who float amongst the refugees in the camp, disguised as other refugees and keeping an eye on things.
Oh, that's smart. There's so many people that look like they're in need right now. Did you hear about all the undead?
Rumors only. We haven't encountered any on our own, although there was a ship that just came in recently speaking about seeing zombies wandering along the riverfront, wading out into the water, but the ship was too fast for them.
We came from Khartoum and through the forest, and there was undead chasing us every day. We had to hide in packs of animals to avoid them. We had to go into the protection of the forest to avoid some of them. We even had to go into the Faewyn to avoid some of them.
Your journey sounds difficult and harrowing. Perhaps you'd like to share some of your intel with the guild.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind helping.
Excellent. I'm sure we could find a way to reward you for your time, if you so wished. Tell me, what would a halfling like you have done on these journeys? Stayed out of trouble, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was easy to stay out of trouble. The whole way there, we didn't really see any other cities or encampments other than the orc encampment, but there was nothing left. They had all left by the time we had got there. And while there was the ruins in the forest, I mean, there was nothing left there that, except for the Feywild, but it was easy to stay out of trouble, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's excellent. Don't need people getting into trouble where there isn't any to be found. Now, if you would like, I can introduce you to Zelane. He is the leader of our group, and I'm sure he would be very interested in hearing how you stayed out of trouble on your journeys from Corthun.
Okay, can Jinxie come too?
Of course, animals have free reign in Velshini.
Okay, I'm ready.
So he takes you to another warehouse and up to a second story, and you see that this area is lavishly decorated with fine carpets and rugs, wall hangings that depict all sorts of beautiful scenery, some forests, some ocean, beach, all these sorts of things. And sitting upon a gilded throne is an elder elf, but his eyes still look sharp, even if his body appears to be starting to fail him.
I'll kind of nervously step up towards him and kind of half bow, half wave my hand hello and offer my hand at the same time. You know, kind of not really sure what I should be doing.
He nods his head to you, but doesn't take the offered hand, and smiles and says, "You'll understand. It is a bit of a risk in the business."
Oh, I'll raise my hands up like I'm unarmed. I'll be like, oh, yeah, nothing like that, sir.
What is it I can do for you today, young halfling?
My name's Skippy, and I was talking to the shop owner, and he said that you might want to talk to me about my trip from Carthun.
We've had many refugees into the city recently, but none of them from Corthun, which I find interesting. So yes, anything that you could tell me would be very important.
Well, I guess I'd start off with at the beginning, I guess, back at Carthun, and he'll begin to explain what kind of happened.
Sure.
Not really saying anything about the book, though.
Okay, so you are omitting some details then.
Yes. I suppose you want a deception roll.
I sure do.
Damn it. Damn it!
Zelane doesn't interrupt you the entire time that you speak, and as you chronicle your travels across the lands. But at the end, he says, "I find it curious that you took such a route to get here. There are certainly faster and better ways. Tell me, what brought you to the Druids?"
Galen's master said that was they would have the knowledge to help us on our next step.
Your next step in what?
Saving the world, I think.
And tell me, young halfling, what does saving the world look like to you?
Oh, hopefully just going back to the way that things were. You know, without the undead running around killing everything that they can and turning that into undead, and I don't know, just people back in their homes and safe.
Perhaps you can understand why I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details of how you and your friends would turn the tides against such a threat as these undead, for they are, without limit, as far as we can tell, and you are but a handful.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's not very many of us. I mean, we could use all the help that we could get, actually. Like, if you have anybody who's a powerful warrior or wants to join our cause, I mean, we would welcome them.
We have many powerful, and he does air quotes, warriors who would be considered to be on your side, aiding in the fight against the undead threat. But I don't think that's your meaning. I think you're looking for something a bit more direct. And the difficulty with that is I don't believe you're telling me the whole truth. And I cannot trust someone who does not tell me the whole truth with powerful warriors from the guild.
He does have a long silence.
He waits patiently.
There is knowledge that could put, if widely known, could put in jeopardy the success of the mission.
And so you're looking for someone to safeguard the knowledge, or are you the guardian of the knowledge?
He'll swallow hard, look at Jinxie, and kind of look at the ground. Say, I have friends.
I'm aware. Let me rephrase my question then. Are you or one of your friends the guardian of this knowledge?
Well, I think we are all guardians of the knowledge. In my party, and I think we're all working to guard it. We all know what we know.
Don't we all?
But I mean, you don't know what we know, but we know what we know, and I'm sorry, I'm getting confused.
Let me cut to the chase. Do you plan on sharing what you know with me, or will I continue to be in the dark and you will go back to your friends and continue alone?
He'll kind of shuffle his feet again, and how do I know I can trust you?
Well, I suppose that is a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Me, the leader of the guild in Vilcheny, who answers to the queen herself. How could you know if I would be trustworthy? And there's a lot of sarcasm there.
He'll, like, with almost every word that he says, kind of flinch back a little bit at the sarcasm. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cause you offense. And he'll kind of bow his head a little bit, but he'll say, I'm just a lowly street thief. I've never dealt in people of your power before.
I understand. Well, don't let me keep you any longer than you wish. Here. And he pulls out a small pouch from beside his throne and tosses it to you. He says, "A gift. Spend it as you will. Thank you for helping the refugees in the city."
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe I'll talk to my friends and maybe we'll come back.
If that is what you decide, we will welcome you and your friends with open arms.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And he'll start thanking everybody that he comes across as he kind of walks his way out.
Okay. Yeah, they don't try to stop you or anything. You're free to leave.
He'll say to Jinxie on his way out in a whisper, I think I just soiled my pants. We gotta get back to Gaelen in the group.
Okay. And on the way to get back to the group, you see a group of bards wandering down the street, and they're singing a jaunty tune.
The Lich, luscious Lucius, and his lying luscious lich lips. The dark night we heard the whistling of the dam. That silly little sound sounded a little something like this. so tough, it lasted a hole in a hill. It won't cross him again. Like an namby-pamby he used cloud kill to kill some helpless tigers and our friend. His whispering tones and violent gemstone eyes will knock in his teeth till like a coward he flies. Luscious Lucius killed a couple of pussycats. He's such a pussy cat killer. Owen McAfee is a dick.
Do I recognize that?
You've never heard it before in your life, but it's clearly something that you recognize the events of.
I'll gulp and look at them and look around to see if anybody notices me out of the crowd, and then I'll kind of slink my head and walk gently past them as quickly as I can and head back to Gaelen.
Okay. Yeah, you make it back to the inn, no problem. There's nobody's paying particularly close attention to you as you make your way there. And when you get there, by the time you get there, you do find Gaelen in the inn, and he appears to be drinking heavily. Before that, Lignyck, what were you up to today?
I would have gone back to where Faewyn is writing, and in that case, I'll be hanging out by her napping in case we end up going off somewhere on the chance that I get a long rest snuck in while she's working away.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get a long rest in, but you could definitely get a short rest in, no problem. And your passive perception is quite ridiculous. So while Faewyn is busy working away, nose in her book, and completely oblivious to the outside world, you hear High Wizard Ocean, the one who seems to run the library area, speaking with another wizard in hushed tones. They obviously don't want to be overheard, but your hearing is quite keen. And you hear them muttering about the arcane master Ilarion and how he hasn't come out of his chambers for quite some time. And they're concerned. He's missed some meetings. And apparently High Wizard Billinaria went to speak with him, knocked on the door, and received no reply. So they're not sure what to do because the door is warded.
And what was his name again?
Arcane Master Ilarion. The rest of the time goes by rather uneventfully as you rest and Faewyn continues to scribble. We are going to get back to the Unicorn Tail Inn, where Gaelen is drinking fairly heavily in the inn, and Skippy and Grun have returned at roughly the same time.
Gaelen is also got lots of his parchment out on the table, and he's been scribbling down things. It's all in Elven.
Gaelen, have you told anybody about what's going on, like what happened in the forest? Grun, did you?
Hey, Kid Skippy, I like you.
Gaelen, did you tell anybody about what happened in the forest?
All kinds of stuff happens in the forest. There's a lot of things we don't even know about.
Grun, I just passed a bunch of minstrels that were singing about what happened in the forest with Luscious Lucius.
What? We haven't told anybody. Well, wait.
It even had a catchy tune. It was Luscious Lucius, like...
Oh, he killed a couple pussycats. He killed them.
I'll point at Gaelen and cover my mouth with my other hand. And say, that's right. You said in the thing, 2 pussycats. He killed 2 pussycats. How would they know that?
There's a bunch of the bards that are singing it. And some of them are really awful, let me tell you.
Skippy, I think that maybe Galen's lips got a little loosened, and perhaps he's spoken to the queen.
Hey, King Grun, What's Noble Lignyck's name? His last name. I know his first name. I just wanted to know what his last name is.
Just what did you need it for?
Because I don't know his last name. God.
I believe he said it was Shatter Song.
And he's an arse. Wait. He's an artificer.
An artificer?
That's what I said, an artificer.
Sorry.
Oh, chains of leaping fire and sizzling lightning laid waste the artificer's handiwork, sparing not a single device. I heard that or read that somewhere. That's the only thing I ever heard about artificers.
What did you do, Gaelen? Why are you so drunk?
I am not that drunk. Skippy. Hey, let me see your hand. Gaelen will hold your hand in his palms up, comparing sizes. You guys are so little. You're so little.
I think no, I don't.
Grun, is there something you could do?
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to remember. Because no.
Hey, Gaelen, you saved the
Yeah,
sea.
no. I don't really have anything to cure incredible levels of drunkenness. That would probably be, well, a spell I could prepare, but in the morning he'll be suffering anyways. So
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm not.
I'll have another one.
I'm not so sure you're fine. How did your meeting with the Queen go, Gaelen?
Oh, Gaelen. He's a hero, big hero. He saved the city. Oh, the undead are running around all over the place. Lich is coming to take a whole place. But you gotta get your medal. It's important stuff.
I'll pull Grun away from Gaelen a little bit, and I'll say, I went and talked to the underworld?
Oh, what? The Thieves Guild?
I'm not supposed to say that, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know it was like a taboo.
I went and talked to them, and
you got a big mouth.
I imagine you're talking to Grun?
Yeah. You can't talk about thieves guilds all the time.
I'll move Grun further away from Gaelen.
Yeah.
And this time across the room. And I'll say, and I told him about our story about coming from Calroon to here, but I didn't tell him about the book, but he figured that out. Not about the book, but he figured out that I didn't tell him something. And he thinks that he should be trusted. And I was like, how am I supposed to tell if he can be trusted? So I was hoping Gaelen could tell me if he could be trusted, but I don't know. Can he be trusted?
Well, I'm not sure. Did you say that he works for the Queen?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, no offense to your chosen profession, Skippy, but I'm not usually overly trustworthy of those in your line of work. I mean, as much as I trust you, even you've shown yourself to be a little light-fingered sometimes.
Well, you should have seen this place. It was like no other place I've been before. It was like a palace, and he sat in a golden throne and everything. He said he worked for the Queen.
I don't know if I really trust a thief who sits on a golden throne and works for the Queen.
That's what he said. He said that he had lots of things that could help me, and he gave me this bag of money, I think.
How much?
Yeah, I don't even know. I just wanted out of there so fast I never even looked in it.
Here, let's go see what was in here. I look over at Gaelen. Does he look like I've gone drinking with Gaelen before, many times. So I've seen him all sorts of inebriated. Does he look like the kind of drunk that he can still get up and go somewhere?
He did. While you guys were talking, he gathered up all of the papers that he'd been working on and headed out of the tavern.
Hey, where does Gaelen go?
Oh no, he's a drunk wanderer. All right, Skippy, we need to get this sorted out and then go looking for Gaelen. Let's
go find Gaelen now because he hasn't gone far. We haven't been talking that long.
Fair enough. Let's go. And we'll take off.
It's not difficult to find Gaelen. He's outside the inn talking to Leonardo the tiger. Gaelen, what kind of things would they overhear you saying to Leonardo?
I don't know that they would overhear anything because when he gets really drunk, most of what he'd be saying would be in Elven.
Grun and Skippy, do you guys understand Elven?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
But he would be saying something along the lines of, "You're a good cat, Leo. And there used to be 4 of you, and now there's just one. This is the best one."
Well, like I said, I've been out drinking many a time with Gaelen, and I know, where we're at right now. Is there a water trough nearby?
Yep.
Beautiful. Galen's coming for a little bit of a bath, and Grun's just gonna kind of carry him over. Kind of get under. You know how the drunken shuffle, one arm over the shoulder, the other arm support him, kind of lift him. It's like, hey, Gaelen, come over here with me for a second. I want to give you a hand here. Come with me. I'm just gonna lead him on over.
This isn't Galen's first rodeo either, so he probably, walks on over. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, and we just go for a bit of a bath in the water trough, just to bring him back a couple notches.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I don't think I was that stinky, but
Yeah, I'll.
Oh, King Grun, we
Yes,
gotta rescue the princess.
Sorry, we got a what?
Yeah, it's princess. Yeah, she's in the wizard's tower. She's probably with King
Sorry,
Lignyck.
the wizard's tower here.
Oh yeah, that's where we left her.
Well, we didn't leave any princess anywhere.
You're silly. We left her in the wizard's tower.
How did she get to the wizard's?
Hey, Gaelen, are you gonna go see your mom? Huh? Are you gonna go see your frickin' mom? Of course I'm gonna see my frickin' mom, Coral and Lerethian. I just ain't done yet. Gods, you're impossible and you're stupid. That's totally what I should have said.
Gaelen, what happened at the meeting with the queen?
Oh, I haven't seen the queen yet. That's tomorrow. This is tonight. Hey, we're all invited. Everybody's gotta go. When the sun goes down, we get to go. I gotta get a medal because it's important stuff,
Wait, the sun goes down tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight.
You're supposed to get a medal tonight?
Where have you guys been?
We gotta hide him.
Oh yeah.
Grun, what would you look like with a shaved head?
We should. Oh boy. Hey, Skippy.
It's fine. We gotta go. Oh, King Grun, you totally gotta go too. You're supposed to go too because they want to give you something. Yeah.
They can't put medals on us. If they put medals on us, they might as well put a target on us.
And they gotta. Oh, I don't think I'm actually getting a medal. That's a figuratively speaking. It's.
What are you getting?
Oh, they just want to say, "Ooh, look at the guy! Look at him! Ooh!" It makes the common people feel good. Okay, makes everybody feel good.
Yeah, but to all our enemies, it's gonna be, "Hey, look at that guy! That's the guy that we have to kill."
I don't think we only got just the Gem Lucius is the enemy, and I don't think he's gonna come to the ceremony.
But we already know there's spies in here.
I killed it. I already killed it. That's why they want to say you did a good job.
What if there's more?
And then I'll kill it. But you gotta go, Grun, and I think everybody should go. And it's tonight. It's a special ceremony, and it's at the Midnight Castle. At sundown. They might have drinks.
Right, Brian. How long is it till sundown?
At this point, you've got probably about 4 hours before you'd have to go.
Gaelen, I think our first priority is to get you sobered up a little bit right now.
I think first we gotta rescue the princess.
Nope. First, we got to sober you up so that we can talk about a couple things that have happened, and then we can, figure out what we're gonna do. But you need to sober up a little bit.
I paid for all of this alcohol. It wasn't an accident.
Skippy, can you go get Faewyn and Lignyck?
Yeah, I can. But Gaelen, I'm very thirsty. Can I have a drink?
Yeah, for sure. And he'll give you his flask.
and I'll start walking towards the library, the Mage's Tower.
Excellent. I bring Gaelen out. Well, no, I don't bring him back into the tavern. That's a bad spot. I bring him to a nearby food cart with the greasiest meat on sale, and I just start buying Galen some nice greasy meat and hunks of bread. And I'm like, hey, Galen, we should celebrate a little bit. You shouldn't go on an empty stomach. Here, have something to eat on me.
Oh, thanks, King Grun. That's great, but you know what? I think Skippy stole my flask.
No. He's gonna have a drink and he's gonna refill it. He'll bring it back with us. He's just gonna go get Faewyn and Lignyck so we can celebrate together.
You know he's probably gonna drink it all. You know how he is.
Yeah, you know him. And I'm going to put some water in a mug in front of him and just do the full drunk nursemaid until everybody's back.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss while you're nursing him back to sobriety?
There is no point at this point in talking to Gaelen in a coherent and cohesive manner, and Grun is fully aware of this fact that nothing that is said now will be coherent or remembered. So yeah, we'll just sober him up and work on getting him in a conversational level, hopefully.
Sounds good. Gaelen, is there anything that you would like to ramble on about to Grun?
Every once in a while, he'd probably say something about his stupid father. That's about it.
You know what, though? Actually, now that I think about it, Grun would, now that they are alone, and knowing that nothing coherent or nothing is going to be coherent or remembered, King Gaelen, we've known each other for quite a while, right?
Just about forever. Like,
Just
about.
Just about my whole life. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Galen's pretty old, correct? Like Galen's in his, I think he said 80s or something?
130 something, I think.
130. Okay. Well, my whole life, I mean, you've always been there. Kind of right alongside with Father Sean. It's been a very big deal for me. You were the first person to get me drunk, and the first person to give me my wake up bath the morning after. That was one cold bucket of water.
Yeah, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. You sure can drink, because you're a half-orc.
You know what? Yep. Probably one of the few good things that came of that is a bit of a hardy constitution, and getting to meet you and Father Sean and everybody at Corthune. 183. Wow. I have to say, Gaelen, it's meant a lot to me that we've been able to travel together and fight alongside each other. It's been quite the honor.
Hey, yeah, no kidding. Like, I'm only mostly alive a lot of the time because of you.
And you've protected my back many a time. But sometimes there's going to be a few fights where we can't be there for each other. And if that happens, just know I'll still be fighting alongside you, whatever way I can be.
Oh yeah,
even
totally.
if I'm not actually there.
Yeah, I get it. Yep. When I was fighting the Death Stitcher, I totally was punching it in the face, and I was thinking, oh, Grun was here is totally punch her in the face too.
You know it. Hey, Grun, Gaelen, I'm going to get you to hold on to this for me, okay? And I'm going to untie the shovel from my back, and I'm gonna tie it on to Gaelen. I'm like, just when we go stand for the Queen, because I know you're not fond of any of this. Just remember, I got your back, right where this shovel is.
Well, that's totally cool if I can carry your shovel. But what if you need to dig a hole?
You know what? I'll get it back from you if I need to dig another hole.
All right, but don't go digging yourself too many holes.
Nope, one at a time. I'll continue nursing Gaelen.
Skippy, you get to the Wizard's Tower and find Faewyn working away and Lignyck having a nap.
I suppose I could run up to Faewyn if she looks like she's done.
She looks very engrossed in what she's doing.
Okay. Well, he'll walk up to Faewyn first and Faewyn. Grun's drunken. We have to go see the queen.
Does she know any spells?
No, but she's gonna give you a medal.
Why would she give me a medal?
Because
A
the
medal
Gaelen-
what?
I don't know. Like I think it's
Is it like an amulet?
I think it's like
Or
a
a
good
wand?
thing. No, I think it's like we saved the city, so here's a medal.
I'm confused.
So am I. It's really confusing.
So, from what I can see, Faewyn isn't done what she's doing yet, and I don't think the medal would apply to us because it was probably stuff you did before we found you guys. So, Faewyn should finish what she's doing, writing her spell and learning it so she can use it. And I can come along if you want, but there's not really any point for her to. And we know she'll be here because she'll be writing books and she'll be reading books and she'll be discovering things. And once all the medals are done.
Oh, okay. Do you know how to get Gaelen undrunk? Because if he goes before the queen the way he is now, they're going to take his head.
Heads are good. Yeah, that's great.
If we don't get him sober and respectful by sundown, we're cooked.
Yeah, food would be good. I don't know. Whatever you're cooking's fine.
No, they're going to cut off our heads.
She's working. She's probably only hearing about every third word you're saying. So we should let her finish writing what she's writing. And I'll come with you and we'll see if we can figure out how to get Gaelen sober. And we'll see what we can do. And hopefully no one's head gets chopped off. And everyone has a fancy dinner. And everything will be good. So let's get going.
Everything's good. Great. Awesome.
Okay. He'll follow Lignyck out, kind of looking over his shoulder at Faewyn.
Okay. And you guys are heading back to the Unicorn Tail Inn?
Yeah, basically to wherever the last time I saw Gaelen.
I'm following Skippy because I have no idea where we're going.
Okay. Yeah, you guys make it back to the inn, and you see Grun and Gaelen sitting beside each other. Gaelen is now wearing Grun's shovel on his back, and he's nursing a mug of water and eating a bunch of food.
See, look at him. He's a mess.
Hey, King Skippy! You rescued a princess. Good job, buddy. Big thumbs up.
Hey, Lignyck.
Lignyck looks around thoroughly confused.
Hey, do you know any old gnomish, home folk remedies for sobering a man up quick?
Anything that cures poison should do it, right? Out of character.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I just don't have anything prepared that would neither prepared nor the slots for anything that would be able to kind of dispel that. So
Yeah, I don't have Lesser Restoration prepared either.
Well, what good are you guys?
we had other spell priorities today.
Hey, you guys. I'm gonna be just fine. It's just Skippy took my flask. Oh.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Skippy has quietly dumped that when I take it back and put it back onto Galen's hip.
Yeah, it's
put it back.
thoroughly emptied. Thoroughly empty.
Beautiful. Oh, we'll refill it later, Gaelen. Here, just you got your food and drink in front of you. You keep you finish this up first.
Hey, old noble Lignyck. I know your last name now. Are you gonna come see the queen?
And Grun's like nodding, just in the back, like silently nodding, just like say yes. Just
Yep. I'll come along. I don't know what's going on, but I'll come in and see the queen and find out what this medal is you guys are all getting.
Yeah, it's all stupid stuff, but we gotta do it.
So, hey, Gaelen, did you tell the queen, anything about our adventures?
I didn't even tell the queen anything. I just told the advisors that.
Yeah, did you tell the advisors about any of our adventures getting here?
Yep. Mostly. Yep. I think I mostly told them most of the stuff. Mostly.
Did you tell them anything about the book?
Which book?
The book that we took from Corthune that we're keeping from Lucius's army.
Because we got a lot of books, King Grun. We got a lot of books.
We do. We've got quite a few books, but really just this one book, just this book. You remember the book that we got at Corthune, like that first book, the really important book? Did you tell them about the really important book?
I maybe. I don't remember. I told him a lot of stuff.
Skippy is watching this very closely.
Okay.
Just, Gaelen, did you tell him?
About what?
The book, Gaelen.
Skippy, we got a lot of books.
I honestly don't think he either remembers which book or what he did or did not tell the advisors. Hey, did the advisors give you anything to drink while you were at the palace?
No! Now that you mention it, what a bunch of stupid dummies!
No food or drink? Wow. How rude. Oh, good. He wasn't drunk.
I think we need to leave this city tonight. Everyone is going to know who we are and then what we have.
It's not great for our subtle approach. However, at the same time, could bring more support. But I don't know. I don't even know if we'd be able to leave tonight. We're expected to be seeing the Queen. We might be even barred from exiting the town, and I have something in the morning which I must attend to.
Skippy looks like a caged animal almost. Not quite a caged animal, but he's looking like he needs to escape.
Yeah, he's feeling a bit cornered. I've seen this expression on Skippy before.
What you got in the morning, King Grun? Are we going to see my mom in the morning?
No. I have somebody else I have to meet in the morning.
Okay.
I don't know. Do we need to push this through, or can we just accelerate to the time?
We can definitely accelerate to the time if you guys have said everything that you want to say.
I will, prior to whatever the thing is, wander back to the library to get Faewyn.
Okay.
And once we are reassembled with the group, I'm hoping to have a little tiny conversation with them. Just quick though.
Sure thing. Yeah, Faewyn is done well before nightfall. So you've got Blink. You were learning Blink, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay, so that's in your spell book now. And you guys can meet up with the rest of the party at the Unicorn Tail Inn. By this point, Gaelen has sobered up some.
Are you sure I can't just have one more?
Yes. You can have some more after we get through all of this, but for right now, it's probably better if you're not any more intoxicated than you already are. Trust me, you are still plenty good. Here, have some more water.
All right.
Don't mind if I do.
Hey guys, it's been a great day. How's yours been?
Grun has that exhausted look that everybody knows, like the one sober guy with a bunch of drunk people, because babysitting Gaelen is like babysitting a group of drunk people, and he's got that just like weary look in his face.
You look like you need some energy. Maybe you should go over to the Wizard's Tower, and you can copy spells too, because it's awesome. Trust me, it's really good for you.
You know.
Speaking of the Wizard Tower,
Yes.
while I was there and I was watching Faewyn writing her spells, I heard some people talking. There were some high monkey mucks.
There were some what? Sorry.
Some high monkey mucks, important people, and they were saying that Arcane Master Ilarion is missing, and they can't check in on his well-being because his room's wizard locked. And they were sounding really concerned, and they were trying to keep it all quiet so that nobody'd hear. But I kind of heard because I'm good at that. Maybe if they're important people, and once this is all sorted out,
We should definitely go see.
and then we can get some more good graces in with the Wizard Tower, and that might help with what Faewyn's doing with trying to learn to create a spell, and maybe with me getting in there, and they'd be able to help us figure out all of these things that we're trying to figure out to help save the world. Maybe.
With that, Skippy will slam his backpack down on the table, bringing the conversation to an abrupt halt, I would think, and say, "No, we have to save the world first, and that means we have to go.
King Skippy, we don't even know where to go.
We have to go into the hills, search for the dwarves." He covers his mouth when he says that, trying to keep it low.
No, I mean, I agree, Skippy. We do. We have to find them and their city, but we don't have a very vague idea. I mean, we need a little bit more information, and
Then we should be at a
Frankly,
place that has this information. We shouldn't be going to this ball or this ceremony with with the queen. That's not going to save the world.
I don't think I could very well not show up to this ceremony that the Queen's having. And Grun, you gotta go because you're on the list.
And the thing is, Skippy, if we just leave town and we ever have to come back, we can't. If we ever need their help, we will be likely arrested for refusing an invitation from the Queen. As much as you're not a fan of being put in the spotlight, we would be in worse of a spotlight if we just leave. I mean, this is really right now. This is a show to improve the morale of the city. I mean, we leave and just stash our badges.
No, you don't understand. I know the DM. He's insane.
Hey,
Okay, don't get me wrong. As a player, I want to run to the hills too. In character, Grun is not going to allow us to run into the hills.
Skippy will probably pout in the corner with his arms crossed, like realizing that he can't seem to sway you guys, but with his arms crossed over the backpack, I should say.
Kin Skippy, what happened that you're suddenly all jittery?
Who can we trust, like, to help us? They're going to try to control this to benefit themselves, not the people. They're going to take the book from us, and they're going to think they know best, and it's not going to be.
Kin Skippy, we will not let anyone take the book from us. We will perhaps give it to someone with information that we can trust, like we did with the druids. But this is our charge, and we will maintain it. I'm not going to let anything happen to you yet, little guy.
Yet.
And how are you going to stop that when you're drunk?
Hey, you! I'm not even barely drunk.
Grun is going to pat him. He's like, you're a bit drunk still.
Really?
Yeah, buddy.
I'll have some more water.
Push some more water and some more bread in front of him.
I'm sorry, Kin Skippy, I called you you.
Skippy just kind of like harumps and looks in the other direction.
Hey, Faewyn, did you get smarter at the tower?
Well, I didn't get smarter, but I learned I can go here and there and then come back again and do all sorts of interesting things if I want to now. It's really awesome. I like that place.
Don't you trust me? Don't you believe these guys when they tell you that I'm drunk? Because that's just how I fight. That's my fighting style. That's what I do. That's my jam.
Who are you planning on fighting tonight?
Hopefully nobody.
Then why are you planning your fighting style?
I'm just practicing.
Great. Galen's a strong believer in practice makes perfect. So tonight we have that meeting with the Queen in how long, Ryan? Like an hour or so, I'm assuming?
yep. Yeah, we can fast forward to that whenever you guys are ready.
You guys are meeting with the Queen. Interesting.
Well, you're coming, right? You gotta come.
Sure, I've never seen a queen before. Sounds good.
Yes. Hopefully we can use this audience to argue for some assistance in our favor. Maybe some supplies to help us with our journey. A new cart and some mounts would be quite helpful, and other such traveling supplies, and maybe access to some information.
Does she have any magic
Gaelen,
items?
You never know. She's the queen. She may have access to that or some spell tomes, perhaps.
Yeah, let's go talk to her.
Yes. And Gaelen mentioned something about a request to save the princess who is trapped in the wizard's tower. And with your information that the head wizard has locked himself in, has not been seen, makes me think that perhaps the two issues are connected. And if we bring this information, then there may be further support.
Wow, lots of people locked in that wizard tower.
It seems to be. All right. If there's nothing else, I think then we fast forward to meeting the Queen. Gaelen has had a second bath, as cold as it could be made.
Yep, he's right at the level that he would normally be at. Just taking a drink now and then. He's quite coherent. And on your way to the Midnight Castle, you hear that song again I won't play it again because, you know,
Aw,
I mean, if you really want me to, I can.
kinda do. Am I the only one?
You know, you can just scroll back up and play it for yourself if you like.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, I am downloading it. Yes. All right.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys get to the castle, and Aurelius is out front, and as soon as he sees you, Gaelen, he waves to you.
Gem Aurelius, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Gaelen. I assume everything went well with the Queen's Council?
Galen is things are coming back to him, and he's only just remembering. Oh, you know, I could have probably mentioned that Aurelius had that hammer and stuff, but just never did.
Yep.
Yes, Gem Aurelius. We're looking forward to basically getting this over with.
Very well. We have a chamber in the castle close to the throne room where you're to get prepared for the ceremony. And they said something about some Grun coming along with you.
Yes,
That would
Grun.
be me.
He looks at Faewyn, Lignyck, and Skippy with dispassionate, cold eyes and says, "And you three?
Yes, there are 3.
Are you coming to the ceremony as companions of Gaelen and Grun, or as just general audience?"
Oh, we're with them.
Very well. All of you can come with me then. And he turns into the castle, and inside, it's a strange sort of construction to everyone but Gaelen. The interior of the castle, the rooms are like bubbles suspended in stone. There are no sharp corners anywhere. Hallways that lead from the bubble are rounded tunnels that worm their way through the castle. And if you're not particularly good at directions, you'd get lost in here pretty quickly.
Oh, good. Grun's confused.
Yeah. Fortunately, Faewyn remembers everything, so you're good.
She doesn't even understand why people wouldn't.
And Aurelius eventually does bring you to a waiting chamber, and it's a fair-sized room. They've got a banquet table in the middle of it, where there are seats enough for all of you. There are helpers bringing in more seats right now for the additional guests they hadn't been anticipating. And there's plenty of food waiting for you, as well as goblets of fine elven wine.
Yeah, Galen will go straight for that wine.
Grun is going to keep a very close eye on the level of Galen's consumption and just remind him, it's like, remember, we're still going to see the Queen.
Yeah, no worries. King Grun, I got it.
Partway through your meal,
Skippy doesn't eat, by the way.
okay. Well, partway through, everyone who is eating the meal, partway through your meal, an older elf comes in. Gaelen, you recognize him right away as the other Queen's counselor. And he says, "Ah, very good. We were only expecting 2, so this is quite the surprise, but the Queen has been informed, so it won't come as a shock to her when the ceremony begins. This is excellent, excellent. Pleased to meet all of you, friends of Gaelen. Now, there is protocol to follow as we go through the ceremony, and unfortunately, we would request that you 3, and he points at Faewyn, Lignyck, and Skippy, perhaps aren't standing directly with Gaelen and Grun during the ceremony, because the ceremony does focus mostly on entirely on them. So there might be some confusion from other people if they see you three standing up there with them, and because of the way Elven law is and protocol and whatnot, if you were up there, it may be some confusion with the people, and they would wonder why you're not all being honored at the ceremony. And of course, well, we can't do that. There's so many of you, and we don't have anything prepared. We spent a great deal of time with Gaelen earlier preparing everything, and I do hope that you understand.
Yeah, I don't really care where I stand, but do you have any interesting books to read?
Oh, yes, we have a vast library in the castle. Not so large as, of course, the Wizard's Tower or the library next door, but we do have some excellent reading if that would keep you occupied.
That would be great. Any of it magical?
I'm sure there are stories about wizards and sorceresses and whatnot over the ages. Yes, as the Queen is a grand sorceress herself, she finds those sorts of history and arcane stories fascinating.
Wonderful. That will do me just fine.
Excellent. And you two? He points at Lignyck and Skippy.
I'm going wherever she's going.
I can read and watch them too. Like, that's okay. If you want to stand somewhere and watch them while reading, no worries.
I shrug sullenly.
He looks somewhat concernedly at Skippy, but says, good. Well, enjoy the rest of your meal. We will be beginning the ceremony shortly. As the sun goes down, you will love the sight of the throne room. I promise you. And with that, he bows to all of you and leaves the room.
That was Elder Jim Lutinius. He's a bit of a busybody.
Yes, you could definitely kind of tell. This is going to be quite the to-do, isn't it?
Oh, I hope not. Kin Skippy, do you remember when you were surprised at how old I was?
He just kind of looks at the other wall.
I think you might be very surprised to hear that the Queen is. I think she might be in her 700s.
So she probably knows a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, I would say she knows a lot of things. She has ruled this realm for as long as I've been alive.
Oh, wow. Then she may have some information we could use. Like, she may remember a time of when you-know-who's still walked around.
Oh, the Durfs? Yeah. Actually, Noble Jen Lutinius was even talking about them.
Do you think they'd be in any of the books?
Oh, I have no idea.
And why would he be talking about the dwarves?
Mm-hmm.
Because I told him about the dwarf spirit that we met and how it hated elves.
Oh, all right. Well,
You guys met a dwarf?
Well, a dead one.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
Well, I mean, at first it wasn't cool because he tried to kill us.
But he quit, right?
Starting with our wizard, and he tried to kill our wizard first. So I don't know if they hate wizards as much as they hate elves, but I know they hate elves.
Why would he do something like that? Did he say a rude word?
Actually, if I recall correctly, he was sitting, basically minding his own business and casting an identify spell.
Very strange.
Well, he was undead, and
Your wizard?
No, the ghost, the Durf.
Ah, did he tell you where they lived? Because that would have been useful information.
Kinda.
Yes, they gave us, it was called, and hold on, I'm in my note here, Thorbold's Deep, where perhaps we may find remnants of the dwarves, or at least a former stronghold of them. However, none have found it in, I believe they said, centuries.
And I've got a good look at those maps of the area where they thought it might be, but of course it's not on a map. If we do end up going in that direction, we'll have to do a couple of choices to make about how we go that way. We could go straight through the forests, but that would be, I mean, I love that, but it can be difficult. We might be able to use the lake to our advantage, and we could go north and skirt the forest.
Any of it is Does Steamton happen to be on the way? Because we could just pick up my magic stuff there and then just pop in and keep going.
I believe Steamtown is in an entirely different direction.
I mean, in a fashion, all roads lead to Steamton.
That's true. Maybe we should stop there on the way.
As soon as we get to Steamton, noble wizard, we will stop.
Okay.
So
Can I spend time trying to figure out this book on the way?
Of course you may.
The book you guys keep talking about. The book.
Yes, we've
If you can figure anything out about it, that would be great.
indeed. We've all
Okay.
investigated it.
Skippy, what was that roll for?
I don't know. You tell me.
We're all just waiting to be told.
There used to be some stuff on this table, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, Skippy, you've got a full set of very nice elven silverware.
That you stole from the queen.
Yep.
I'm not stupid enough to steal the set right in front of me, am I?
No. There were extra settings in case more unexpected guests came and you nicked one of those. And as you finish up your meal, the door opens and Latinius comes back in. He says, "Well, very good. I hope you're all filled up and ready for a wonderful ceremony. We're all prepared for you in the throne room, so if you could please follow me, we will get things underway immediately."
Oh, yeah, guys. There's probably going to be a bard doing a lot of talking in there. Elder Jim Carmen. That's my dad, by the way.
Oh.
Don't worry, Gaelen. We heard some of the songs already. Don't worry, I got rid of your other writings.
Did you get rid of all of the writing he was doing when he was really drunk?
I didn't destroy any of it, but I definitely put it all away in my room where he could not get at it until he had sobered up and reflected upon his actions.
Okay.
Definitely not letting. As far as I was aware, he was writing more tales of our deeds, and so yeah, they're just kind of stashed in the in my in room right now.
Okay.
It's just.
So, Gaelen, you don't have your notes with you. I hope that's not going to be an
Right.
issue.
Oh no! Oops.
It might play a role. I don't know that it's going to be a complete issue, but it's got pretty good wisdom.
All right. So do you guys follow Latinius out?
Yes.
Okay.
Grun first. Galen, make sure of that.
All right, Grun will go first. He'll pat the shovel on your back, though. Remind you that it's there. Yeah, it's there at your back.
Okay. So as you enter the throne room, you see that it is packed with elves from Velshini, and only elves. You would estimate that there are approximately 200 people in this throne room. And before you sits an aged elven woman on a simple throne made of cherry wood, but it's not like what Skippy saw with Zelaine. It's not like gold encrusted or anything like that. It's excellently carved, but it's not over the top. And beside her stand two elf maidens. Gaelen, you would recognize them as the princesses, Eulariel and Montharia. And you can see that they are both wearing silvered armor with the markings of Coral and Lorethian on their breastplates. And Latinius steps in and says, "Gathered guests of Queen Yelena Highborn, firstborn daughter of Queen Galibri Highborn, please welcome with a round of applause our guests for the evening, the heroes Gaelen Elmthorn and Grun Softtusk." And he steps aside to allow the two of you to pass, and immediately moves towards Faewyn, Lignyck, and Skippy, and kind of gestures for you guys to come off to the side. And take positions away from the central dais where Gaelen and Grun are directed to go to.
Faewyn will follow, but she's looking for the book in his hand.
He hands you a book.
Woohoo! She's cheerful and reads.
I follow as well, but I'll need a roll for that. I'm like hiding behind people and stuff like that, so like nobody can get a really good look at me.
Okay. Is there anybody in particular that you're trying to hide from, or just keeping out of sight from everybody?
Yeah, basically as much as possible. So I'll kind of stand kind of behind Faewyn and Lignyck.
Aren't they shorter than you?
I'm a halfling. And I'm a short halfling too, I think.
Yeah, they're all short. And I think Lignyck is freakishly tall for a gnome, so...
He is. Faewyn is not tall. Faewyn's 3 foot.
I'll like hide half behind a curtain and that sort of thing, and like basically try to do everything. Like if I'm in plain sight, that's fine, but like I'll be trying to mitigate my attention as much as possible, and that's my hide in plain sight role.
Sure thing. Yeah, you get behind the gnomes, and nobody's really paying much attention to you anyway. All eyes are on Gaelen and Grun in the middle of the room. As Gaelen and Grun assume their positions, you hear the pleasant sound of a lute being strummed, and an elf walks forward dressed in resplendent cloth of gold, and his hair glimmers with the light of the setting sun, and you can see the entire throne room is cast in a beautiful pink coloring as the sun begins to set. And along with these notes, you hear the voice of Carmen Elmthorn begin to sing. And I won't bore you with the details because you all are familiar with your journey from Corthun. But essentially the tale chronicles the travels of Gaelen and Grun. And Skippy, you note that you are not mentioned in the song at all, and neither are Faewyn or Aerie. And the song progresses for some time until the valiant moment when Gaelen destroyed the undead fiend who had infiltrated Velshini and saved them all from a horrible fate at the hands of a flesh golem that would have caused untold destruction to the city. And at the end of the song, everybody in the room claps quite enthusiastically, and there are a few people who whistle and cheer. And how does all of this attention make you guys feel, Gaelen and Grun?
Incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, Galen's gonna be just staring at his feet.
Yeah, we're gonna be kind of a couple times. Grun probably looked over at Gaelen at like certain parts of the story that they've probably like incredibly embellished, and kind of like nervously giggle. Just how ridiculous it all sounds.
Yeah, Grun, remember when you one-punched that undead ogre?
Yeah. You remember when you kicked that giant in the ass square across the forest? Yeah. Wait, you kicked it in the ass. I remember that part, but the rest I remember very differently.
Yeah, and instead of Aerie doing the smiting, it's Grun channeling the power of the gods. Although they are, they don't mention which god you're channeling, just that you are filled with divine purpose.
Okay. But yeah, when I hear about me channeling the power of the gods, yeah, that makes.
Nick is going to listen to the song and kind of keep looking back and forth between the two of them, and his jaw drops a little bit.
Yep, Faewyn's paying attention to in between reading.
Yeah, you had no idea these guys were so awesome.
You didn't realize what badasses you were hanging out.
We knew they were awesome. That's why we joined them. We didn't realize they were that awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty godlike, really. But by the time the song ends, the whole crowd is like, "Wow, we are living and breathing this in the same space as two mighty heroes."
bow down and worship us.
And as the final notes fade, the room darkens to a nice purple glow, and magical torches light along the outskirts of the room, bathing the room in a brighter glow. And Carmen makes his way to the queen's throne and hands her a scroll in a scroll tube, which she slowly removes from the case, unrolls, and begins to read. Gaelen Elmthorn, son of Carmen Elmthorn, my own counselor on the Queen's Council, you have performed admirably in service of Velshini and all who call her home, elf and others alike. Your tale is one for the ages, and as such, you and your companion, Grun Softtusk of Corthun, shall be rewarded. It is with the greatest honor that I bestow upon you, Gaelen, the Queen's favor. And Grun, it has been requested that you have sessions with a trainer of your choice to learn a new skill to add to your already heroic repertoire. And the crowd claps politely before the queen continues. And, as is tradition, the second gift is a medal to show our appreciation, and so that all may look upon you and know that heroes still walk in Velshini, protecting them all and keeping them safe. And Gaelen, where are you looking right now? How are you feeling about that?
I still see Galen as staring at his feet, lifting his eyes every once in a while just to look around and remind himself that it's not a nightmare, that he's in this room with all of these, with all the elves, and but mostly staring down. And he would wince when she mentions the medal, because he was holding out hope that was just in his imagination.
Give me a perception check. As you wince and you're looking around, your eyes lock with your father, and you see he wears a sort of devilish grin as Lignyck comes forward with 2 medals on velvet cushions to award to you and Grun.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Just surveying the crowd, do I notice the King of the Thieves there?
You do.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll an insight check to see if he's noticed me. Or perception? Or what?
Insight would be good, because you have seen him already.
That's pretty good.
He has definitely seen you, although he is not, like his eyes just flick towards you briefly, and he doesn't show any outward sign of having seen you or making any particular fuss about it.
Okay.
When the queen mentions Grun's reward, but at the end of her speech, not stupid enough to interrupt a queen, Grun would like to kind of raise his hand in objection to the reward.
Oh no.
Lignyck shoots a nervous look at you and says, "What is it? Please, the queen is in poor health. Do not add any surprises to this."
This is quite simple. Your Majesty, I thank you for this honor and your offer of reward. However, I wish, in place of the reward for myself, that I ask instead you support my party in our ongoing attempts to fight this undead threat through whatever supplies and assistance the court may provide. Our only goal is to do more for the peoples, and I feel that will help them more than just helping me.
As soon as you start to speak, you hear mutters of surprise from the crowd, but they fall silent as you finish, and all eyes are on the queen now, who is looking at you with a look of curiosity.
Galen's gonna send back a very similar shitting grin back at his dad.
Yeah, he's definitely frowning at this interruption. Latinius speaks for her and says, "But of course, the favor of the queen can be used in such a manner. All Gaelen must do is say the word, and we will aid you in whatever way we can."
Then I thank you, Your Majesty, for your future assistance. I thank those of the court who also offer their aid.
Her gaze flicks to Gaelen, and Gaelen, you get the sense that she's expecting that you have something to say as well.
Okay. He'll stare at her for a moment.
While
And-
Latinius pins the medal to you.
Elder Gem Latinius, would it if it would please the queen, I would like to address the court.
He looks back to the queen, and she nods ever so slightly, and he says, "Very well, you may speak."
Galen starts searching his pocket for his speech.
Grun entirely oblivious.
Realize it's not there, staring a little wide-eyed at Grun.
Who's just going to look back like head cock. What?
And Galen will step forward a bit and say back towards the group, "Get comfy, guys. This is a bit of a long speech. And hey, King Grun, if I end up dead or worse, just know I'll always have your back too."
Grun will kind of nod, a little bit concerned that you may have, figured things out.
So this part's in common and has that tiny hint of tipsy. This is King Grun Soft-Tusk of Corthun, perhaps the greatest cleric in all the lands. Countless times have I found myself alive only by his grace and power. His faith has delivered justice upon all form of undead, zombies, shadows, and more, and through only force of will did he turn the ancient mummy that rose to destroy us. Kin Lignyck, Shattersong of Steamton, a mighty artificer, can launch a barrage of assault like few have ever seen. I am not sure what a coconut is, but I am told that with a couple of those and some adhesive tape made from a duck, he can build a nearly unlimited power source. This small one is Kin Faewyn Shimmerheart of Steamton, the most powerful time wizard any of you will have ever known. She can turn back time. She can find a way to take back those swords that hurt you, and you'd stay alive. And finally, this old fellow is Kin Skippy.
Is there a tapestry or something that I can hide behind?
They already were. Gaelen gestures to the air. Somewhere over here is Kin Skippy.
No, there's nothing like that you could have hidden behind. You were behind Faewyn and Lignyck, so when he gestures towards you, most people still won't be able to see you.
This old fellow is Kin Skippy he is the deadliest of mysteries. An immensely skilled scout who has avoided us suffering innumerable traps and hidden peril. Look at him. Judge him by his size, do you? And well, you should not, for his ally is Fortune, and a powerful ally it is. I've watched in awe as he once defeated a zombie ogre with a well-placed crossbow bolt to the face. I am Gaelen Elmthorn, the Forgotten, son of Isildia, daughter of Adnan the Quiet, son of Rolam Kira, son of Gilana, bringer of harvest, daughter of Codenan of House Elmthorn. These are my kin, and they are worthy of you all. The rest is in Elven and Stone Cold Sober. All right. A century ago, I found myself a young, inexperienced wood elf, and the gates of Velshini were my shackles. I spent my days resentful of it, angered by it, I felt oppression everywhere I would look. I saw it in the way the high elves would treat the wood elves, and Coralin forbid, the others of elvenkind. I felt our society had closed in on itself and effectively turned its back on the other races. Instead of being the shining beacon of example they had been in generations past. It felt like Velshani, which is supposed to stand for all elves, barely stood for anything but itself. I felt like our generations were simply enjoying what the generations before us had built, with little or no consideration of what we must build for the elven generations to come. I could see this clearly within my own family. He'll glance. Elves reaching, hungering for advancement, for personal gain, instead of personal growth, and to the hells with the well-being of others. I learned that lesson well, how to be selfish. So I left, with full intention of never looking back. 100 years passed, and I found myself broken down and rebuilt a number of times. Each time, I like to think, better than before. I know not what her goal is, but fate placed her finger on my path and led me back to here. Along the way, I learned tales of ages gone, where elves were as I dreamed they could be. Leaders, working together with the other races like the Derfs, to set the world right. It looks like we were successful, but we may have failed the Derfs, as they are no more. And we may have failed our kind by turning inward, not only failing to set an example for the other folk of these realms, but in fact, setting an example of how selfish and self-concerned people can be. 100 years I have been sorting out my disappointment, rectifying my disillusionment. It was some time ago that I chose to focus on one enduring fact. We elves have time. It is our strongest asset. We have the most history to learn from, and the most future to prepare for. It may not be too late for some of us. As individuals, maybe. But for our people, for elvenkind, it is never too late. We always have the chance to change our minds and change our ways. We only have to decide if we will be part of the neglect or part of the restoration.
Your speech is met with ringing silence as every elf in the room stares.
I was gonna say, except for Grun, who is clapping when he realizes that Galen's finished what is obviously an impassioned speech, understanding none of what has been said, and starts applauding, and then slowly stops when he realizes that no one else is.
Lignyck, who does know what he's saying, is watching the crowd very intently.
And so is Faewyn, but again, much like she's at a play.
Gaelen will walk slowly back to where he was before.
The queen raises her hand and gives a simple wave, and Latinius pales and says, "The ceremony has come to an end. I would ask that all people in attendance, other than Gaelen himself, would please exit the chamber at your earliest convenience, and we will be having an extra late session, apparently."
Faewyn stays, because of course he means them too.
Yeah, Grun assumes he's staying.
Gaelen will take a big gulp from his flask.
Skippy, have you snuck out?
I'm like, I have the door open and I'm like walking through it and I'm expecting everybody to follow me, and I look over my shoulder and nobody's moving, and I'm like,
I do feel bad dragging Skippy through all of this.
So the room empties, and Latinius says, I'm sorry if I wasn't quite clear enough, but I did mean just Gaelen could stay." But the queen gives a soft and nods, and he's like, "Oh, very well, you can all stay. Very well." And the door closes after the last of the elves slip out.
Is Latinius still in here? Or did he leave as well?
Latinius and Carmen are both still in the room, as are Princess Eulariel and Montharia.
Okay.
I would say Galen's face is locked on the on his feet, the floor in front of him, except involuntarily he would have to glance at Cartman's face periodically.
He wears a look of mixed outrage and disappointment. The queen looks to you and says, Gaelen, you have a way with words that stir the heart of an old woman. Long have I ruled these lands, and in confidence I have said much of as you have said to my daughters. The age of elves is closing, and I fear it is because of exactly as you have said. We lost the spark, and it cannot be reignited.
Galen will look up at her when she says that.
She looks at you with a look of deepest sadness.
With respect, Gem Majesty, it can be reignited.
I fear that you are mistaken, for the line of the Canopy King has fallen ages ago, and there is no one of pure bloodline to rule. I will be the last queen of Velshani.
Of pure bloodline.
Unfortunately, there are those outside of my court who believe that only one of pure royal blood can rule, and so they discount my daughters, and when I die, the only thing I'm certain of is that everything will change.
Of course, Gem Majesty, everything will change. But as far as those who feel that the only a member of pure bloodline can rule, who cares about them? They're the weak link. They're the broken cancer in elven kind.
And they have a powerful voice among the people.
It is not more powerful than yours. You can change the people.
I had thought introducing refugees to Velshani would help with such things, just as you say, to open their eyes to the suffering of the world beyond our walls. Unfortunately, it has made some further entrenched in their beliefs that elves are superior, for how could we not be if all of the refugees are fleeing here? We must be more powerful than all others.
Then they need to be told why. They need to be told that the reason why the elves still stand is because we hide, and they don't.
Or the undead just aren't here yet.
The undead have been at our gates for some time now, and I have to believe that those same gates and walls keep us safe and allow the elves to continue existing in what form we do. Going out to fight at this point seems foolhardy, for our defenses can keep us alive, but to try to strike out at them, it seems impossible.
Yes, of course, Gem Majesty, you're wise. It would be foolish to scatter at this point. What I fear is that you may have surrounded yourself with people that don't have elves as a whole in their
best interest.
Yeah. I think perhaps, Gem Majesty, you should look at those closest to you and consider whether or not they speak with the voice that needs to be spoken for elven kind. And if they don't, cut them free.
What you suggest could lead to civil unrest and perhaps even civil war in Velshani. I am not young and brave to face such a threat to the city, to potentially lose all that we have in the hopes of becoming better.
Your Majesty, if I may, your daughters stand by your side, armed and armored and ready to defend you and your kingdom. The undead threat you see before you, this is the tip, the beginning of their threat. The Dracolich has not come yet, and if what Gaelen spoke is true, and another of the princesses is indeed trapped within the mage's tower, and the rumors we have heard. Oh,
King Grun, that I think you're referring to one of my drunken ramblings.
oh, my apologies. My apologies. And look at and Grun just shoots a glare at Gaelen, just like, really? And wow, that kind of actually takes a little of the wind out of the sails of the speech. But your daughters stand before you, ready to fight for your kingdom, and the undead threat is only beginning. Anyone who seeks to hold back the advancement, the evolution of the elven people, they're the people who are going to put this city in the greatest danger from that threat. So, is it not your duty as the queen to save as many as you can, those with a hope for the future, for change, for betterment? Those are the people to lead, and I think you would find yourself surprised that it will be the majority of your people. I cannot believe that if things have gotten this far, that most of your people do not feel it somewhere inside them, that something is missing. I truly believe that when that fire, that passion dies, one knows it.
She nods as you speak, clearly reflecting on what you have to say, but she offers no answer.
Gem Majesty, if your daughters are fit to lead, let them go through your ranks and weed out the cancers.
She looks to her daughters, and they both clench their jaws and nod, and you get the sense that they've probably had this conversation before. I know it is the will of my daughters that they would be able to go forth, as you say, and stake a claim in leading the city forward and bringing the strength that you speak of, Gaelen. I am extremely reluctant to turn elf against elf on my word for fear of what would happen to my daughters. I know it is a queen's duty to protect all of her people, yet they hold a special place in my heart, and I could not see harm come to them.
Your Majesty, if nothing is done, harm will come to them.
That you have this fear is all the evidence you need to know that things must change. If you have fear for their safety because of things that are growing within our people, you know those must be dealt with and removed and buried and never forgotten.
You see tears start to pool in her eyes and leak down her cheeks. You speak true, you heroes, and I am grateful for your counsel. I shall think on it, and I know my daughters will try to persuade me to follow through on your words for the betterment of the elven nation, even if there are fewer elves going forward. Thank you. Truly, I am humbled and grateful for all that you have done for Velshani, and all that I am certain we shall do because of you.
Thank you for your words, Gem Majesty. Of course, what we've done for Velshani is but a speck on the centuries that you have served.
Skippy, excuse me. Skippy is going to pull on Grun's sleeve.
What is it, Skippy?
Ask her if she speaks Dwarven.
Your Majesty.
Yes?
Sorry. Before I do that, who? So the queen and the two daughters are in the room. We are in the room. I've already forgotten his name again, but the
Latinius and Carmen.
And who's Carmen again? Sorry.
Galen's father, the bard who sang the song about your travels.
So may I ask your Majesty that those not directly involved be asked to leave, and I will look at the bard. I don't know it's Galen's father, right? He's just the bard.
Yeah, he's just the bard.
Yeah, I look directly at the bard.
Latinius answers and says, all who are here are counsel to the queen. You can speak freely before all of us.
Gaelen would like to try and get a reading on the daughters when he says that, whether or not they think he's being particularly honest.
Give me an insight check.
And I'm insight checking him personally. I don't trust a bard to keep his... Well.
Gaelen, you do catch the sisters tossing a glance at each other quickly. Grun, who were you looking at?
Latinius. If he's being honest about everybody here being trustworthy. Yep.
You get the sense that he believes everybody is trustworthy.
Okay. I don't trust the bard, but I believe that he believes. Gaelen, do you do anything before we keep talking?
Galen's staring at his dad, but not like his eyes are side cocked. It's totally a side stare, like he's thinking.
Yeah,
So
your father does not look appreciative of Grun's implication that he is not trustworthy.
Well, then he's really not going to like this. Gem Majesty, it is perhaps your closest advisors that are most suspect when it comes to thinking about all of elvenkind above themselves.
Carmen and Latinius have served me faithfully over the centuries. I have no doubts that they will continue to help lead the elves alongside my daughters when I am gone, if the people allow it.
I would only ask how long this blight of thought has been persisting among our people. That would probably also be centuries. I'm not saying necessarily the same corresponding centuries.
Darkness fell in the hearts of elves before my reign, when the Canopy King fell and the royal lines were broken. There was darkness in all of our hearts, and the elves have struggled ever since to catch a glimpse of the glimmer of power that we once held in this world.
I think that may be part of the problem. We need not stand by and watch, hoping that we catch a glimpse. We need to grasp it and make it happen.
And how would you suggest we do such a thing?
Skippy tugs on Grun's arm again.
Be honest with the elves. Educate them. Confront them when they're being racist. Change the behavior. Demand that the behavior must change. And those who refuse, exile them.
Perhaps you underestimate the number of elves who feel that way. Velshani, before the refugees came, was already growing emptier by the century. By exiling any who speak against me, it would only drive those who think such thoughts into the shadows, where they would plot against me and mine in secret. Better to know who they are in the open and be better able to watch them and control them.
This is my fault, and the fault of people like me. For centuries, we've seen what we don't like in our kind, and we've left. What we ought to have done is stayed and effected change. My kin and I have a mission. It is more important than elves, but I will pledge to you that when it is finished, I will return to Velshani. I don't want to, but I will, and we will effect change.
Hearing your words warms my heart, Gaelen, for there are too many who have left. But if you can return, and if others return to effect the change that you wish to see, I have hope that Velshani could be strong once more.
Start by not removing the refugees. Follow that up by stopping calling them refugees.
And what would you have us call them if not refugees? For they are that.
Velshanians.
Latinius looks aghast, but the queen nods, says, "That is an interesting first step. I will suggest such a change, and have my people begin speaking to them as though they were elves and my subjects."
You are wise.
Your Majesty, do you know of any who speak the language of the dwarves?
The Dwarven language is a dead language, as far as I know. However, there are those who possess magical abilities that would allow them to comprehend the Dwarven language.
Do you know of any you would recommend?
Carmen here is on my council and has knowledge of such a spell to comprehend all languages, spoken or written. I am certain that he would be happy to help you with this quest that is more important than elves.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall take it in consideration. Would I know this spell that that she speaks of.
Comprehend languages is known by bards and warlocks.
And wizards, but I don't have it.
Oh yeah, wizards can get it too. There you go.
We should see if the wizard tower has it, because they might let me learn it if it's one I can learn. I don't know if I can learn it or not, but I'd love to learn something like that.
Fantastic, Faewyn.
Well, you are a member.
Yeah, we should check with them.
Majesty, your advice was most helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patience with us. I know that I was being impertinent.
And thank you for your patience with me as well. It is difficult at my age to imagine change coming, but I must hope for a better future for my daughters. And Latinia says, yes, well, I think we've all been properly illuminated here, and I believe it is time for Her Highness, Ilana Highborn, to retire for the evening. I would escort you out of the castle if you would like.
Thank you, Elder Gem Latinius.
Your Majesty, and we'll leave.
Bye-bye, nice meeting you.
I love that enthusiasm.
As we walk out of there, Skippy's kind of just like, as soon as he crosses the doorway out, he, like, all the stress and stuff like that comes, like, out of his shoulders and stuff like that. And he says, I need a drink.
Me too.
Me three.
This is why I pre-drink.
Does anybody take the book from her as we're leaving?
Latinius does ask you to return the book so that he can return it to the library.
Of course. Thank you. It was very, very good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. And so you guys leave the castle. And what would you like to do now?
I think we're going drinking.
I think we have to chase down your dad.
Why do we have to chase down my dad?
Well, we have to read this book.
No.
I think we're going to see if Noble Faewyn can take care of that for us. I only met Noble Faewyn earlier today. and yet and yet I trust her more than I do my father.
Thank you.
Well, then let's go to the library.
Yeah, let's go to the library. The Wizard Tower Library.
Okay. You guys head to the Wizard's Tower, and it appears to still be open, even though it's evening time.
What? Yeah, what time is it?
It is after sunset now, so it's getting late in the day. But the tower still appears to be busy. Not quite as busy as it was earlier in the day, but there are still plenty of wizards about.
Hi, I was wondering if we could go back and look at some spells again.
Yes, of course. The library is open whenever people need it.
Wonderful. This is a wonderful place.
I don't know about that.
Could solve all of our problems. Well, at least some of them right now. Maybe not all of them, but all of them for right now.
Do you have any spells that let you read languages?
I'm sure such spells would be included in the library, yes.
Is there like an indexing system for the library?
Well, simply speak to High Wizard Ocean, and she can point you in the right direction.
Wonderful. Faewyn bounces off in the right direction.
Is High Wizard Ocean here all day long every day?
Pretty much. She only has to sleep 4 hours a day.
And if you guys aren't following, Faewyn is gone, by the way, if you've stopped to ask that question.
No, I don't think. I think having seen Faewyn in the library, Grun realizes there's no point following Faewyn into the library. Absolutely pointless endeavor. Might as well leave. She's here and happy. Lignyck, are you staying with her? Or are you coming with us?
Oh, he's coming with us. Of course he's coming with us.
Gaelen has hooked Lignyck and is dragging him off.
I'm gonna stay with Faewyn.
I gotta get some stuff to Faewyn before you take me away. Hold on.
Kin Skippy, I thought you were gonna go come drink. You said you needed a drink.
First, I'm gonna save the world.
Well, yeah, but we can't help her study.
Yeah, it's gonna take her a while to learn that spell, and it's been a very long day.
Bye. And he runs after her.
He's acting weird.
Yeah, looks like you and me.
Something definitely spooked Kin Skippy.
Yeah, he's never been fond of the idea of being in the spotlight, and tonight was, I think, especially difficult for him on that. I think right now. Skippy wants nothing more than to leave as quickly as possible.
That's what I think seems so strange. He's so eager to leave the safety or relative safety of Velshani and get.
Skippy has never been one fond of staying in one place, though. If you haven't haven't noticed, he doesn't like being in one place for very long. Same with Corthune and the encampments, and even when we got here.
We're gonna get Lignyck as drunk as possible, right?
I believe Lignyck has also gone into the library with Faewyn.
He said something. He said like 18 words very quickly, and I think it was like "hang on" at the end. So.
Oh, okay.
While I am in the library giving Faewyn the gold she needs, I'm also asking the powers that be if there's anywhere that I could look to perhaps buy a couple of scrolls. Or am I not able to cast from scrolls?
I think anybody can cast from scrolls.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you just have to make a... I don't even think you have to make a roll to read off the scroll.
No, you can read off of them just fine. If I can find High Wizard Ocean, and if she will direct me to comprehend languages with the gold that Lignyck gave Faewyn, she will start copying comprehend languages.
You can read scrolls that are on your spell list.
So even though I don't have any written spell book kind of necessity, I can still read scrolls as long as they're of appropriate types.
As long as they're on the artificer list.
So when I'm asking them, I'm asking specifically for lesser restoration scrolls.
So Faewyn, comprehend languages is a first level spell, so you can learn that for 50 gold, and that Arcana check is more than enough to successfully copy the spell.
Excellent.
I skip out before, like, in the confusion of everybody leaving. I roll the stealth check and I'm skipping out.
Okay.
Do you mean you lied to us?
Maybe.
Okay. Yep. You have stealthed out of the wizard's tower. Where are you going, Skippy?
I have to change my appearance.
Okay. Are you doing that yourself, or are you going to somebody else to do it for you?
I am proficient in disguise kit.
And do you have a disguise kit?
No. So,
All right.
But I can use other people's skills to accomplish what I want to do. I'm sure there's got to be a hair barber or something like that somewhere.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Sure. They're all closed for the night, but you could do that in the morning.
What?
Is there a place where he could buy a disguise kit?
Yes, again, they're all closed, but the shops will be open in the morning.
What? Is this COVID?
Believe it or not, shopkeepers want to spend some time with their families too.
But don't they want my money?
That's why I was wondering why Ocean would still be around. It's like, go spend some time with some people.
She likes the library. She spends time with people there.
She's currently one of my favorite people.
All right. Well, I will skip out then. Find out all that, and then I'll sneak back into the tavern to go back upstairs. I will roll another stealth to get through the tavern.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if Gaelen and Grun want to... and Lignyck, are you going to the tavern with them too?
Go for it.
Well, I'm trying to work on getting a couple of scrolls before I do.
Right. Yeah, they will sell lesser restoration scrolls for 200 gold pieces a pop.
Oh, I don't want them that bad.
Okay.
That'll be what sleeping's for.
So Galen will try and make sure that Lignyck is very comfortably between Grun and Galen.
Okay. And does anybody want to roll a perception roll to see Skippy sneaking through the tavern, or are you guys more just focused on your drinks and you can just sneak on by?
Well, does that go against their passive?
Yeah, they're not actually looking that hard. But
Did anybody tell Faewyn where they were going after she was done? Because she'll be done in about an hour.
Yeah, we would have told you we were heading to the inn to...
But yeah, you guys aren't particularly looking closely, and your passives aren't better than 23. So yeah, Skippy can just
No.
sneak through.
Mine's close.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, we met you guys initially just outside the tavern, right? We would have said which one
Yep.
we are staying at.
Can I buy observant again?
I believe you can observe it multiple times. Yes.
Oh yeah, you have a crazy passive.
So yeah, we'll have a couple of drinks, but Grun will make sure he gets his requisite 8 hours of rest.
Okay.
Gaelen will buy drinks for Lignyck, as long as Lignyck will drink them. So Grun heads up with plenty of time to get a nice night's sleep, and he doesn't ask for his shovel back.
No.
Gaelen will think that's odd. And then, Noble Lignyck, did you hear that song the bards have been playing around town?
Only a little bit.
So between you, me, and the bar stool, I wrote that. You're probably going to see that lich again. Hopefully, we'll see him again.
So, if you wrote it, how come everyone's so uncomfortable around it when it's played? People looked really weird when they were hearing it, and they were talking about it, and they were really weird about it. And how come that's going on then?
I suppose that's because they're not used to being heroes and having songs sung about their triumphs.
Kind of like how you're really uncomfortable at the ceremony.
Was it obvious?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes, I guess that's right. Yes. At which point Gaelen will remember that he hasn't taken that medal off, and he will do so.
So if you're kind of weird about the whole hero thing, and they're kind of weird about the whole hero thing, why did you write the song to make?
Well, actually, I wrote the song in a fashion to do two things. One, to affirm that Lucius doesn't scare me. He's a punk, and soon enough I'll get to kill him. And secondly, so that if people do put some stock into the tale, they know a lich is coming.
Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Also, Noble Lignyck, you'll find I often don't think things through before I do them.
Oh, that's good.
Lignyck coughs up whatever he's drinking at the moment when you say that, like all over the table.
I guess we should probably turn in soon. We should make sure Faewyn makes it back safe, and Skippy is with her, I believe.
Ryan, just let me know when an hour's up.
Oh yeah, an hour is up. Probably around the same time that Grun's. A little bit after Grun heads to bed. He wasn't staying up very late because he's got an early morning.
Okay, so they'll see Faewyn come in by herself, and she'll plop herself down quite happily.
Gaelen will stare at her for a moment.
Hi, I know how to do languages now. It's awesome.
I was going to say 2 things, but no, now I'll say 3. First, that is excellent. Second, everything went well. I guess you've answered that. I guess the most important thing is, where is Skippy?
Oh, I thought he left with you guys.
Oh, wait, now I remember what number 2 is. Would you like a drink? See priorities.
Well, that book would be better. Books are really good. But, I'll drink something in the meantime.
I will get you an ale. And then we have to find Skippy. Wasn't he with you? He said he was going to follow you.
No, I left all of you guys and went and did my spell.
All right. One moment. Gaelen will get an ale for Faewyn. Go ahead. Gaelen looks at the ale, looks at Faewyn. You gonna drink that?
She'll have a sip. She's not the sort who will chug it. She's much more interested in potential books.
He'll stare at the ale. You had to taste it first?
I'm drinking it.
All
She's
right,
gonna
then.
watch it. She's gonna watch every sip.
Pretty much.
Oh, he's gonna be watching for a while.
This is a painfully slow way to drink an ale.
Galen's somehow personally offended.
All right. I'm going to leave you with that.
Okay.
I think it might take you a while. I'm going to go and see if I can find Skippy. And I'll go up to...
Where are you going to go look for?
I think I'm going to go to Skippy's room.
Okay. Skippy, is the door locked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Knock, 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 knock.
What?
Skippy, are you in there?
Yeah?
I thought you were staying with Noble Faewyn.
No, I went to bed.
All right, then I will leave you.
Sleep well. I just wanted to make sure you hadn't been murdered by some undead.
No.
Gaelen will go back down, sit down, get himself another ale, and try drinking it Faewyn's way.
Looks miserable the entire time.
This just seems like teasing yourself.
What do you mean?
It's like you almost get a good mouthful and then deprive yourself.
Still not following. I have some, and then I look around for a book, and then when there's no book, I have a little bit more.
But if you drink at that speed, you might only be able to have 1 or 2 of those in an evening.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you get the point.
Perhaps you should explain it.
These beverages are to get you inebriated.
I thought they were to make you less thirsty.
That too.
Oh, okay.
Have you never drank before?
I'm drinking right now.
Have you never drank alcohol before?
I'm drinking alcohol right now.
Well then. Then yes, you're doing it wrong.
Wrong? I'm getting it in my mouth.
Yes, but see, treat it like a race.
Are there books at the end?
You can read books while you do it, but I don't know that there would be much point. I think this is why I don't read many books.
She's curious, but she's still confused about what he's aiming for here.
You see, if you drink that quickly, it's going to make your brain fuzzy, and you're not going to be worried about anything.
Like where to get my next book?
Right. Yeah, you might not even be concerned about books.
Fuzzy brain sounds no good.
It does sound odd. My brain doesn't usually have hair. Like my head. Skull does, yes, but not my brain.
But you want to be careful, and don't drink too much of it, like, all the time, because some people, they have a problem with it.
So how is one supposed to do this?
Drink an ale? Drink an ale? Is that what you're asking?
If I'm doing it wrong.
Oh, yes, quickly. Not all of it. If you want to, you could drink it all at once.
Well, I am drinking it all at once. I'm going to finish it before I leave.
What you could try and do is take a deep breath and then drink it before your next breath.
Well, I don't know how to breathe that slowly.
I think it's you don't know how to drink that quickly.
Oh, I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this. Okay. And she will try and chug her L.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, you lightweight.
Oh, totally.
Actually, you handle it just fine. You do feel more relaxed, like Gaelen said, and a little bit fuzzy, but you're still in charge of your faculties, and you're not feeling sick or anything.
I don't know if my brain has hair or not. It's hard to tell from here.
So now is the most important decision. Do you have another one? My default is yes.
Lignyck, what do you think I should do? We've got one vote, yes. And Grun and Skippy are upstairs sleeping.
They're on me, Lignyck.
Is there food?
Food? I could ask about food. Sure. Gaelen will go to the barkeep.
Yep.
I need 3 ale, 3 of something hard, and do you have food?
Yes, of course we have food.
You have some breads and that sort of thing?
You know what? There's a random inn generator around here somewhere.
Don John.
Yeah.
I love the menus that thing comes up. Like some of them sound actually sound good.
Here's what they've got today. Roasted chicken and dried watercress with a tankard of ale, pottage, mug of cider, vegetable stew with a mug of ale, boiled sausage and hazelnut bread with a tankard of mead, and boiled eggs and peas with a tankard of beer.
Okay.
Hazelnut bread and sausages.
Yep, that sounds right. Okay, I'll come back and say we have hazelnut bread and sausages.
Oh, sounds good.
Okay, let's all do that. I'll buy 3 of those.
All right. It doesn't take long before the food comes.
I'll eat. It looks good.
So, Noble Faewyn, I would suggest though, once you drank one quickly like that, then you can drink the another one more similarly to how you were drinking it. We call that nursing it.
Oh, that sounds like a nice thing to do. Nursing is good.
Yes, I mean, that's how you know it's healthy for you.
That makes sense.
Oh boy.
She is smart, but not necessarily wise.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's a fantastic rationalization. Nurse a drink. Okay.
Okay, so she'll sit there, drink her drink, eat sausage, and
All right.
hazelnut bread.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do tonight after your meal and drinks?
No, I think I guess I'll get them both a room because we don't really have rooms for them yet. Hey.
Yeah. Faewyn and Lignyck, do you want separate rooms, or are you guys together?
If there's 2 beds in one, that would be good.
Yep, you can get that. The rooms are 8 silver pieces a night.
I got it.
Mr. Money Pants.
I think there's probably a tab I need to square up to, right?
Yep. Yeah, because you had 4 rooms the first night.
I already did. I already paid for I took off money for the rooms last night, and I paid for our little bit of drinking last night. But what I haven't paid for is all of today's drinking from the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've probably sunk another gold piece into drinks today.
Done.
Okay. The night passes, but there's a knock at your door, Gaelen.
During my meditation or after?
It would be after. It's early morning.
So can we take long rests?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I will answer the door.
Okay. A smartly dressed royal soldier is standing at the door and says, "My apologies, Gaelen. Apparently, at the ceremony last night, with all of the confusion at the end, Lotinius forgot to give you your monetary reward for your duties to save Velshini." And he holds out a sack of coins for you.
Okay, I will take them. Thank you.
You're welcome. And do you know where I could find Grun?
I do. I will walk you over there myself. He's right next door.
Okay. He says, "Yes, this is the room that the innkeeper told me, but there was no answer."
Really? Hold on. I will knock.
There's no answer.
I'll check the door, see if it's locked.
It's not locked.
I will open it and look in.
The room is empty, except for a sheet of paper on the desk.
I will leave, never reading that piece of paper, and that makes it not real. I will go and read the piece of paper.
It says, "I am sorry, my friends, but if you're reading this, I have left for what could likely be my final battle. Dowreth has set me a task to destroy the avatars of the other gods. However, I go forth to attempt to convince one to join our cause. Should words fail, I shall use my fists to convey my convictions. Should those fail, my life is forfeit. If this comes to pass, please bury my body according to the tenets of Kelemvor, and take from me whatever you can use. Please leave my amulets upon my body, and use Father Sean's shovel to move the earth for my grave. Gaelen, I am sorry for going before you. However, the matters of my faith and my heart compel me to face this alone. Judge me harshly, for it is what I deserve, but remember me with fondness still. And seek out your mother. Never take for granted what it means to have her. Skippy, do not allow your fear to hold you back. You are capable of greater courage than anyone else in our party. Faewyn, Lignyck, I have not known you long, but I must now ask you to be there for my companions going forward. Farewell, my friends, and forgive me going before you all. May the gods grant you whatever support they can in the times to come."
Galen will fold the letter and just stare at it for a moment. You judge yourself more harshly than I ever could, brother. Go well. And I'll go and find Skippy. Sorry. If you gave me your name, I've forgotten it.
He didn't.
It seems King Grun is unavailable. Is there anything I can help you with?
I have a similar sack of coins for him. If you're his friend, then you can have it and give it to him when you meet up with him.
All right, I will take it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Then he turns and leaves.
Go and bang on Skippy's door.
Skippy, I see you rolled a stealth check. Are you still in there?
No, I'm not.
Oh, good. There's no answer.
I checked to see if his door is unlocked.
Did you lock it before you left?
No, I didn't.
All right, it's open.
I I reach towards the handle. I pause when I get there and say very quietly, "Gods be damned, there better not be a note." And I open the door.
There's no note, but no stuff.
Is it empty of all of Skippy's stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He carries his backpack everywhere he goes. Okay. I'll have an extra look around for a note.
Nope, didn't fall under the dresser. Ryan, you know what I'm going to do, right? So you can just let me know how long it takes me to accomplish that and get back. Or
I have no idea what you're doing, but you can tell me later.
Well, you saw the picture I sent you, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Gaelen will probably walk a little bit more quickly to the gnomes' room and not knock. Just try and open the door.
If it had a lock, it would have been locked. If it didn't have a lock, obviously, he walks right in.
It's locked.
There's a slight sigh of relief that it is. And I'll knock on the door.
Hello!
Good morning, noble gnomes.
Good morning.
Yeah, here. And I'll hand the note to Lignyck.
I will read it. I will pass it to Faewyn.
Oh, thank goodness. Something to read and I didn't get to. Whew. She reads it quickly.
She was just vibrating. I need to
Yes,
read it.
she was the entire time. He left?
Wait, he's the one that healed us and helped us and got us up and going after... Why did he leave? Are we supposed to go find him? Are we supposed to go help him?
My gut says that we would not find him, but I would entertain the idea.
I'm a little concerned that he's trying to destroy our current gods. He seemed a little concerned about that too, though, so that's okay.
Did no one get around to explaining what was going on with the current gods?
Yeah. It just seems a little awkward.
It is. It's confusing. I am not a faithful, so most of what I know from King Grun. But the short of it is that King Grun was aligning himself with one of these darker deities in an attempt to demonstrate to that deity that there was a better way than what they are doing, which is, of course, imprisoning the other gods.
Yeah, but he also swore himself to Dowreth's service, which is, kind of awkward, so kind of torn, but he was also feeling kind of awkward and torn too, so, it's all there.
Noble Gem Eleanor also was faithful to Dowreth.
Yeah, that was a little weird too yesterday. It's been a very busy day.
Yes. It's... wait, the day only just began.
Yesterday.
Oh, yes, let's not have another one of those days. That day sucked.
Well, there were some good parts.
Yeah.
I spent half a day in the Wizard's Tower. It was wonderful.
See, I had this day a while ago where we fought a bunch of these white undead things. They destroyed a bunch of druids, and then we narrowly missed an undead treant, and we fought a skeletal dragon and an insanely powerful lich. That day was an awesome day. Yesterday sucked.
I kind of enjoyed parts of it very much. And you taught me a new way to drink.
Yes, and that is important. We need to find Kin Skippy. He is also missing.
Are you sure you guys are a group?
Any other day you would have asked that. There would have been no doubt in my mind. I think what has happened is that at least one of our members has been shattered so wholly that he has been separated from us. One day, we'll see him again. I know this.
Well, I kind of liked him all except for the worshipping the evil god thing. That was disconcerting.
For him as well. But now Kin Skippy is missing, which is very strange. Let me tell you how strange that is. This is early in the morning. Usually we have to kick him several times to get him up by noon.
He does disappear on his own from time to time, though.
So you usually kick the people you travel with. This is important information for me to know.
Well,
We have a strange party dynamic, don't we?
Also, do you regularly lose the peoples that you travel with? Also important information for me to know.
I would say that neither of those things are usual, although kicking is my specialty.
I would prefer not to be kicked, please.
We need to find Skippy, because you're right. We are having a great deal of trouble the last couple days. Ugh, the last couple
Did
days.
you also lose some other people before that?
Yes, that is why I was saying the last couple days. Yes, the last couple days have sucked. That's correct.
And you're sad, so we should find you your Skippy so you're happier.
Yay!
I would really like to know where my Skippy is. Yes, I am on this journey from the beginning to see that little halfling through his mission. And yeah, I'd like to do that.
Well, hold on a second. I need to memorize spells, but maybe I can help with that. Ryan, is there anything that was on Skippy that I could have seen that he would probably still have on him, like his backpack?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I need to just memorize some spells, and I think I can help.
Excellent. Ken Lignyck, do you also need some time?
A little bit of it good.
Okay, I have a player question. Ritual spells. It's my first time doing them in 5e. It's from the little bit I've been Googling. I need to know them, but I don't need to have them prepared. Is that accurate?
That's correct. When you cast it as a ritual, it takes an additional 10 minutes of casting time, but you can cast it without preparing.
Okay.
And that is true of only wizards. Everybody else has to have it ready.
Off the multi-class wizard.
Hey, Lignyck, are you going to make those alterations to your protector?
I was actually going to say, I was going to specifically ask, while she is prepping spells, I would be doing that.
Okay. What changes are you making?
So so he can be a mount.
Cool.
He's putting those horseshoes on, and
I'm putting those horseshoes on? What?
aren't you? I thought you were putting those horseshoes on.
There we have it. I guess I have some horseshoes of speed.
So a question about the artificer. Is there anything that you have to do to make changes to it in terms of game mechanics?
It says 1 second.
And as soon as he's done, I'm ready to cast.
Basically, at the end of a long rest, I can create a new steel defender if I have my smith tools with me. So it would be basically making a new one to exactly the same as the old one, except with that alteration into it.
Yeah, it says if you already have a steel defender from this feature, the first one immediately perishes, but thematically it makes more sense you would be making alterations.
Okay. So yeah, you make alterations so that you can ride it and attach the horseshoes of speed to it.
70 feet of movement speed ahead.
There is a time-consuming element of it, though. I do not actually have tools on me, except for my Tinker's tools. But my Tinker's tools allow me to make whatever tools I need. It takes me an hour, though.
Okay. Well, it probably takes Faewyn a while to prepare spells too, so that's fine.
Oh, it actually says that the hour creation time can coincide with the short or long rest, so I could have done it as part of my in the morning.
Overnight. So that's fine.
Okay, I think we're ready for me to cast Locate Object then.
Yep.
Okay, I will see if I can locate Skippy's backpack.
You detect Skippy's backpack.
Where do I detect it?
Not in the inn, so you're gonna have to leave to find it.
Yep, she'll traipse off, assuming that the other two are going to follow her. She lets them know she's following the backpack.
Okay. You wander down the street a ways and find a troop of bards singing a song and Skippy's backpack laying in a pile of refuse.
Does it have anything in it, or is it empty?
It has all of his belongings.
Oh, you are a devilish man. I love you.
The Lich, the Lucius Lucius, and his lying luscious lich lips. The dark night we heard the whistling of the dam. That silly little sound sounded a little something like this. Ooh, he's so tough, he blasted a hole in a hill. It won't cross him again. Like a namby-pamby, he used cloud kill to kill some helpless tigers and our friend. His whispering tones and violent gemstone eyes will knock in his teeth till like a coward he flies. Lucius Lucius killed a couple of pussy cats. He's such a pussy cat killer.